The fundamental requirements of having a successful AI-driven strategy is the quality of data that's going to drive that strategy, not just for initial training, but ongoing operation of the strategy. And then also minimizing any difference in your modeling and training environment from what you actually trade with, so your production environment. So the way that we've been really working with clients to solve those problems is helping them capture the high fidelity data from their production environments in a consistent, reliable way, driving that into data lakes and analytics platforms where they develop their AI strategies, giving them replay capabilities, really mimics identically the behavior and the interfaces they use in their real-time production environments, and allowing them to seamlessly take a strategy from their modeling and testing environment into production with minimal change. Some of that data lake and analytics environments that we're driving are internally built and maintained by our clients, but there's others who want to use that from a third-party platform, so we're proactively developing partnerships with firms like BMLL to seamlessly integrate our production interfaces with their analytics environment.
With all your acquisitions, how do you describe Exigy?
It's been an extraordinary period of growth for us in the past 5 years. Largely what we're doing is re-educating the market as to who Exigy is today. It would be very different from perhaps the Exigy or Vela that they knew from 3, 4, 5 years ago. What Exigy is and what we will continue to develop as is a platform that connects the elite traders to the platforms or the markets where they transact. And we partner with those clients to achieve better trading outcomes than they can on their own. And the two vectors are really the breadth of performance needs that we can address as a company, whether that's literally counting nanoseconds in your tick-to-trade response of automated trading strategies, all the way to delivering global market data to public cloud environments. So no one else can really cover that breadth of performance requirements. The other differentiator for Exigy that we've invested heavily in is the flexibility with which we can partner with our clients. And that can be data as a service solutions. The bulk of our business continues to be managed private infrastructure for clients and colo data centers, but also adding this ability to afford our clients software or FPGA building blocks to make their internal development projects go faster, get to market faster, but also reduce the technical risk of taking on those projects.
What did TXSE ask for in terms of connectivity, resiliency, and determinism?
The Texas Stock Exchange really sought from the get-go to build a state-of-the-art platform, and state-of-the-art in terms of its performance, capacity, resiliency. And we see a lot of our clients, focused on those issues, but what the Texas Exchange really wanted and needed from Exigy is the ability to get a consolidated view of best prices from all the U.S. equity markets delivered to their platform as quickly as possible, and they wanted that performance to be as consistent as possible regardless of what market conditions were. Let's say secondary considerations that were helpful to our cause is that they wanted the ease of integration and the speed to market to be fast, and the technical leaders of their team had familiarity with our platform, and that was also a big help. I mean, generally our reputation of supporting for well over a decade now the tier 1 institutional brokerages, ATSs, dark pools, and several exchanges, continues to help us win more business among that community.
With geopolitical issues, what demand are you seeing for redundancy, path diversity, and regionalized connectivity?
These are certainly extraordinary times, and we do see the impact in our business. For a long time, our exchange, ATS, and the tier 1 institutional brokerages had mandates, many of them driven by regulation, to have provable resiliency in their platform. Whether it was regulation or their business dynamics, they placed a premium on availability of their platform regardless of what was happening in global markets. We see the recent events and really the volatility of the past year driving that attention really to all of our clients, asset managers, principal traders, the tier 2 of the institutional brokerage or retail brokerage clients now have internal compliance mandates that force them to have resilient infrastructure, and that's often in geographically diverse data centers, but many of them are also leveraging our ability to deliver data and power their backup or disaster recovery systems in public cloud environments. And we see a lot of folks engineering that way to minimize the ongoing operating costs of that resiliency, because fortunately most of the time you don't need that capability.
How do firms balance performance with cost, ESG, and operational risk?
Balance might be a kind word, and one that our clients would say really it's more like an irreconcilable set of constraints that they have to engineer to. Now fortunately that crucible is where Exigy shines, and a lot of that is derived from our long-time expertise in FPGA technology, which allows us fundamentally to shape the machine to the data rather than massage the data, process the data so that a standard machine can process it. And what a lot of our clients have realized, I think everybody appreciates the latency benefits of having purpose-built hardware process your real-time trading platform, but more so our clients are very much appreciating the capacity and efficiency of the tech in order to drive that reduction in data center footprint, lower power consumption, which basically means less complexity, less operating cost, but then also the ability of it to perform at low latency with extreme consistency. And that alone is a big advantage to our clients, because what they say is, look, when market conditions are volatile, when things are uncertain, those are often the most stressful time for their trading platform, but also the most profitable time for their business. So having a platform that can perform that consistently and efficiently just helps them tick a lot of boxes that would otherwise be impossible at the same time.
What are your clients asking from you?
If you think about what our clients want to do and what we help them do, is just a laser focus on their trading business, whether that is a brokerage platform, their execution algos, or if it's a principal trading or market making firm. They want to focus on that and have a reliable platform that allows them to build those strategies and scale those strategies across markets and deal with all of the technical uncertainty, whether it's fragmentation, so new markets coming on board, whether it's changes to the way those markets function, the way they distribute their data, the way they demand connectivity to those businesses, but then the uncertainty in capacity planning and the performance engineering that has to be an ongoing discipline to make sure your platform is solid. So what they're asking us to do is basically fundamentally more of the same, but to cover more of the global markets, especially frontier markets where they are investing. Maybe they had an initial beachhead in an environment, but they've made the business decision that scaling up here makes sense, and we want a first-class, enterprise-class platform for that environment.
Where do you expect the biggest shifts in connectivity to come from?
What our clients are all looking for is vendor consolidation, partner consolidation. So they want to do more business and they want to partner more closely with firms that are more capable and earn their trust. And so that is absolutely what we are striving to do on behalf of our clients. As I mentioned before, really the ability of our core technology to really check the boxes of as fast as physics will allow, far more efficient, often 10 to 20x more efficient in terms of data center space, power consumption, and the ability then to do appropriate capacity planning so that you are not just staying functional, but actually performing extremely well under those stressful but profitable market conditions. That's what clients want, but they want it as new markets come online, as existing markets change what they're doing to be more competitive. They want all of that just taken care of for them, and that's exactly what Exigy looks to do. We have an internal standard for ourselves, which is we want our clients to look at the platform we build and operate on their behalf and say, we simply can't build better and we can't operate it better. So let Exigy do that part. We're going to focus on our algos, our strategies. And I believe that value proposition is going to become even more important as uncertainty and as the technical challenge of trading in tomorrow's environment continues to increase.